The Blue Jays 2026 season is right around the corner, and with that means a new year of promotions and giveaways. Joining me now to chat about some of the amazing items that you'll be able to get your hands on down at Rogers Center this season is Jess Wood, the Director of Promotions with the Toronto Blue Jays. And Jess, you guys seem to outdo yourselves every year with bigger and better giveaways. The season might be the biggest from what I can remember, at least in prior seasons. First off, when do you and your team start planning for the following season? Is this something that's happening at the start of the off season, or are plans already being made the year before?
Yeah, we have really built out a super robust planning model for our organization, which has been cool. So we start to really look at our next year in July and August of the prior year. So we're still executing all the great giveaways and theme days in the existing season, but we're also looking ahead. So one thing we were able to really plan for this year is knowing we were going into our 50th season. So that was helpful for us, kind of mapping out things that we knew we wanted to execute. Some of the traditional giveaways, knowing some of our great players, threw a bit of a wrench in the plan, obviously, with our postseason run, which was super exciting and wouldn't change it for the world. So it required us to take a bit of a step back to look at, how do we now tell this story of AL champs and all of the great narratives that kind of ran through October. We had one plan. We've kind of now got plan 1B that's out into the market, which we're really excited about. So all about being adaptable, looking at different trends in entertainment and pop culture, viral moments that we're able to capitalize on, like Addison Barger and his couch, which is super fun. So it's really a robust way of kind of looking at things.
All right, got to start with the things surrounding the 50th anniversary season.
Yeah.
We've seen the players already wearing the patch for spring training. We know there's going to be a statue of Joe Carter unveiled in July. When it comes to the promotion surrounding the 50th anniversary season, what can fans expect?
I think for us, it was a great way. We've got so much history and so many great stories through the past 50 seasons, but this is a way to tie old and new together, and that's something that's really exciting for us. So the Angry Bird jersey that has Trey Savage on it, he obviously was amazing for us in the World Series and really young and fun and capitalizing on some new fans. But that Angry Bird era from the 2000s that people love and know, finding a way to kind of bring that back. And it was an awesome opportunity. Same with like the Bieber cutoff jersey that we have for Canada Day. That was really iconic back in the day, but putting a current player on it and kind of having a little bit of fun with the name Bieber, with it being Canada Day, was a fun opportunity for us. So really just trying to be intentional with some things that used to be really viral for us and how we can bring them back in a fresh new 2026 way.
Yeah, the nostalgia is going to hit hard for a lot of people this year that have watched this team for a long time. It's going to be a walk down memory lane with some of the jerseys. I think, even the retro bag, I may or may not have had one of those as a kid, as I'm sure a lot of people did back in the day. Bobbleheads have always been one of the more sought after giveaways with fans waiting in hours in line to grab one. You've got a few this year for fans to look forward to. Tell us about them.
I think one of the first that we're starting with is our George Springer Jumpin' George bobblehead. So it encapsulates that moment in Game 7 of the ALCS that I think was felt across Canada and across sports fans everywhere. So that one, I'm a little bit biased, but that one's definitely my favorite for the year. So that's in April as we celebrate our AL champs. And then throughout the season, we've got some really cool, unique items that we're offering. So Born Ready Vladdy, which is actually him as the 3-year-old in his Expos gear. So a bobblehead of that, which is super cute. Dylan Cease, which is a super exciting signing for us. So being able to do a bobblehead of him and really just kind of leaning into some new and fun throughout the season.
I also see a lot of hats, shirt promotions as well. You referenced the Addison Barger one, which is a great viral moment from last year. I think the Domer retro hat, my personal favorite. What other ones can we expect to see?
Yeah, I think we've noticed that, especially with that old and new, kind of tying in retro and ways that we can make our wearables come to life has been super popular for us. One thing that's early in the season is our vintage home run t-shirt. So it encapsulates some of the most iconic home runs that have been hit within our franchise history. So Joe Carter, Edwin Encarnacion, Jose Bautista, Vlad, and George Springer. So all that on one really cool t-shirt, which is awesome. We also have a Carlos Delgado windbreaker, which I'm really excited about. So that is given away the last weekend of the season, but the day is actually the anniversary of his 4 home run game. So kind of a fun, again, way that we can tie 50th in with one of our most iconic franchise players. And final thing I'd mention on wearables is our retro hoodie, which features the 3 logos from the 2000s as part of our Y2K weekend. I am personally most excited for Y2K weekend and the butterfly clips and all the ways that we can kind of flash back there, but a nice tie to some of the cool eras that were then.
Lastly, I believe I saw that over 825,000 hot dogs were consumed at Rogers Center last season, which is almost unfathomable and, maybe a little unhealthy,
Yeah.
depending on how you want to look at it. But clearly, Looney Dogs Night is one of the more popular promotions. It's back for another season, I see.
It's back, and we are, trying to outdo ourselves, see if we can get our fans to 1 million Looney Dogs this year, which, I'm always surprised and amazed and honestly very proud of our fans for how they show up. Something that's really unique and a nice tie to our 50th is also on April 7th is the 50th anniversary of our first game at Exhibition Stadium. It also falls on a Looney Dog, so why not do 77-cent Looney Dogs on that day? So even more of a reason, even a cheaper Looney Dog that night. So great way to make a dent in that $1 million count that we're trying to get to, or million hot dog count.
Well, yeah, incredible job by you
Thank
and
you.
the rest of the promotions team this year. Can't wait to see all the giveaways, promotions. For people that want to find out more about what they can see and expect from the giveaways this year, where can they go?
BlueJays.com/promotions. It's all laid out there. Get your tickets. Get on down to Rogers Center. It's going to be a fun year.
Awesome. Great. Thanks, Jess.
Thanks so much.